So, I have some thoughts about SCP 3008, a regular old Ikea. See, I have this theory about who created this head trip of an anomaly and why it exists, and honestly, I'm looking forward to your thoughts, so drop them in the comments or subscribe if you dig the content. Now, if you know all about the lore of SCP 3008, skip ahead using the timestamp. Otherwise, sit back and relax because this is a whole different kind of horrible, and like I said, I have some thoughts. Let's do it. SCP-3008 is an IKEA, obviously. Or at least, it occupies a retail building that was once owned by the well-known eco-friendly furniture company. Now, if you walk into SCP-3008 through the main doors, all you need to do is reach a spot inside where those main doors are no longer visible. Once that happens, the victims who seem to be chosen at random will slip unknowingly into SCP-3008-1. SCP-3008-1 looks like the inside of an IKEA store, except for the fact that the Foundation believes the space extends for infinity. I mean that. Imagine an IKEA that stretches for infinity. Now, I've never been inside one, so I'm imagining Walmart or Kmart, or at least I was until I started thinking about Dollar General. God, come on, man, that's horrible. Okay, so you're probably asking how the Foundation knows it's infinite inside, or maybe how they know anything at all. But then again, you're probably not because D-Class, right? Well, you're wrong. I was wrong. They have a journal. See, there was a guy, let's call him Duke. I don't know, I like Duke, so Duke. He actually escapes the infinite IKEA, just pops right out the front doors, hightailing it like his life depends on it, which it does because right behind him is SCP-3008-2. So SCP-3008-2 are humanoids that live exclusively inside SCP-3008-1. They're tall as shack with arms and legs much too long for their bodies, and they have no facial features. Yes, no face. And their IKEA uniforms, along with their internal organs, happen to be made of skin. Now, if that's not bad enough, when the lights go out, they go psycho, telling anyone they find to exit the store because it's closed, while they try to murder you. Yeah, they have no mouth, they're talking, and they're trying to kill you. Come on. Anywho, my man Dookie gets away, but gets caught and killed by a worker before SCP security takes it down. Too late for Duke, right? But again, he leaves a journal, so the Foundation is super cool with everything. Inside the journal, we learn about an unknown number of civilians trapped inside SCP-3008-1. These people built whole towns out of furniture. They go out during the day, they scavenge for supplies and food, which happens to get replenished fairly regularly, and they defend against the psycho-skinned people employees that attack their towns at night. Now, in the beginning, they would attack a few times a week, but by the time Duke gets out, they had increased the attacks to nearly every night, with more and more showing up, until they were basically climbing over mounds of each other, until the town walls were destroyed and the inhabitants were running for their lives. That's how Duke gets out. That's how we get the journal. According to the SCP report, there are one or possibly more exits located within, but they shift position, I assume, fairly regularly. Since containment began, there's only been 14 people that have managed to escape, and when they do, the Foundation pumps them for info and then wipes their memories with some handy-dandy amnestics. Did I mention Duke had been inside for 6 months? No? Well, okay, yeah, and some of them have claimed to have been there for years. Years. Thank God it's not a Dollar General. That's the backstory. Let's talk theory. I think IKEA, the company itself, were the ones who created SCP-3008. Let me explain. See, IKEA was the brainchild of one Ingvar Kamprad, a 17-year-old Swedish lad with big dreams. Ingvar grew up near Ögonjärd, a picturesque little town of approximately 200 people. 200 people. Yeah. Now, Ingvar, inspired by the nature he grew up around, has built a multi-million-dollar international company with a mission of sustainable production. Basically, they want to play nice with Mother Earth, and that got me thinking, what if Ingvar or the board over IKEA were experimenting? What if they were looking for a way to lessen their ecological footprint? I mean, I don't care how good your practices are, with 400 stores worldwide, you make an impact. And after some very public drama concerning how they made their products went down back in the 80s and early 90s, I'm sure the financial health of their company was a chief concern. So, what if they contacted someone and they started playing with space and reality? maybe through scientific paths or perhaps magical? What if the goal was to create a super IKEA, an IKEA large enough to accommodate a worldwide customer base? One that could be accessed by simply walking through the front doors of a building, any building in the world. No merchandise in the physical location, just a gateway. No power generation, no cost, no overhead, no footprint. How about no employees, just freaky skin puppets still in their beta phase? I mean, if they're still being worked out design-wise, that might explain the aggression. They function as security for spies from rival organizations. Corporate espionage is big business in real life. I learned that from Inception, y'all. Or maybe they're just transformed employees, or people forced to undergo the transformation. How valuable are workers you don't have to pay and function 24/7? In fact, what if the whole thing is beta and still being tested, like trying to test the gateways? They may have created more portals. What if the exits were supposed to be mobile, harder to find as they sensed a customer about to leave without a purchase? Not impossible like they ended up now, but just enough to make you pass by one more aisle, one more chance to make a sale, a practice which is used now, just without the anomalous stuff or the murder and horror, right? Think about the restaurants the trapped inhabitants get food from. They replenish regularly. No cooks or robots. Maybe they hooked up with Anderson's factory for an anomalous piece of equipment to handle the production of said food. Hell, maybe the factory helps produce the skin puppet employees. What I'm saying is it makes sense for a company bent on being eco-friendly to pursue any avenues they can to do so at a low cost. Having an anomalous retail space capable of limitless expansion would be a great way to do so. But what do you think? Am I way off the mark? Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe. And if you happen to be a sci-fi, fantasy, or comic book author or creator, check out NTLT book covers. We specialize in these genres, so we'll set you up with a cover that'll absolutely rock your fans' world. Go to ntltpresents.com today, okay? Badass book covers for sci-fi and fantasy authors. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.